This look from Peaky Blinders broke the internet since the trailer has launched. So today we're going to look at how we replicate the same Peaky Blinders look using PFA Color Suite in 3 very simple steps. So let's take a look now. So the first thing we are looking at, PFA, the beauty of PFA Color Suite is we can ditch all your 12 note tree kind of workflow. 1 note is enough to do every single thing. So what you need to do, add a color space transform, then before the color space transform, add a PFA Color Suite, simulated lock state so we can work backwards. So one thing we can do always is turn on the scopes. So we turn on the RGB scope, vector scope, do the same. So what we need to do first is always to nail the saturation, and we go to the color density straight. The beauty about color density is whatever you have adjusted here, it increases saturation at the same time it will reduce the luminance. And this balance helps to create the most organic film look. So when we increase the global density, look at what happens. It saturates the image while bringing down the waveform. This creates the color depth. And sometimes we are asking ourselves why we can't get the rich cinematic depth. Is because the color science. So now once we introduce the color density, the next step we want to create look. Okay, we want to create a palette. And the best way to create any palette is just go down to Film Mixer. What we're going to do here, we're going to increase the teal and orange palette. And as you can see, once we adjust this single parameter, we are shifting entire vector scope into the very narrow teal and orange palette. And that's the beauty of it. And sometimes comes the next question, do I want to create more cyan in the shots, or do I want to create more orange in shots? And this is where you can go down to red outputs. You can drag the red, some of the saturation from the red to the cyan, and that instantly helps you to create that kind of tone and drama in the entire shot. So with this small calibration you get from the shots, and sometimes you can ask yourself, do I want more green? If you want to add more green, you can push the green outputs up a little to shift some of the cyan to the green. Depends on. And last but not least, we can use film separation. We can increase the overall stretching of the palette we have established to a more saturated state. And then look at how defined my entire vector scope is now. Look at it before. From a very neutral, very flat image to a very cinematic, dramatic shots that amplify the emotion of the green toxicity in the entire mood. Next, we can also enhance this by go down to film printer lights. This is where we inject more moods into the scene. And you need to ask yourself, do I want more greens? Do I want more yellow? And this entire process is protecting your skin. So you look at the show protection mask. This injection of color is only applying to the white areas. So that's the beauty of this entire toolkit. I can change the mood drastically if I want to add more blue, add more cyan. Look at how it instantly changed the entire atmosphere. For this shot, I want more toxicity and that kind of drama in the shots, that kind of loss and delusional effect. So you can push more green and more yellow. So this is really totally up to you. But this level of isolation, previously you have to do with depth map, and now the depth map is right inside this toolkit. Everything is isolated for you. So once this step is done, so now that we can move on to the next shot. We can either save this as a preset. Let's call it Peaky Blinder. So we can name it Peaky Blinder, and we can save a preset. We'll go to the next shot. We can call it back Peaky Blinder. Then all the great you have done in the previous shot is so nicely translated to another. And you can use After Effects, Premiere Pro. The preset works across all the different software. And that's the beauty of our toolkit. We are breaking the walls among the barriers of the systems. So now we can go down to even this shot. We can, and the shot have the taste and the entire grade instantly. So we can do the same. But as you can see, because the entire set design and the lighting by the gaffer are very, very different. So we're not going to directly just copy the shot. In here, we can do some fine tuning. So we can go down to Film Mixer. And then we can drag the red outputs. We can elaborate it further. This is like a depth map that is built inside your entire color engine, which is crazy. And now we have drastically changed the mood of the shot to align with our other shot of the atmosphere. Even though the original is totally different, it's all going for the warm shot, we can change the mood and tone very, very quickly. And same, if you want to apply the same effect to your own shot, you can do the same. Copy the preset, call it Peaky Blinder, and you load instantly. Look at how nice this entire rendition of color is. We have graded a shot, push the shot, translate to different environment and setting and tone, and we can manipulate them, and we can make it to work in our own kind of footage, which is very neutral at the first state to a very cinematic state. So that is the power of PFA Color Suite. And now you use Thank You 2026 promo code, you can get 38% off. And it's a limited end offer until the end of this month before the price increase again. We have broke 1,000 users on our tool, and thank you for all the global support on this toolkit. And we are coming very, very soon to Final Cut Pro, which is in the pilot testing right now. And once it's released, we're officially breaking all the walls to the top 3 non-linear editors in the world. Or make sure you can try out all the free trial of this Color Suite version to test out all the free functions. So my name is Nash, Passion Fuels Ambition. I shall see you in the next one.